All right, hi guys. Becca and I are making a game called Access This. As you can see here, we are exploring selection of universal access techniques, and it's a simple game made up of different environments along the way, and each player is given a disability card and 3 modification cards that they can use to modify the environments that they happen to land on throughout the game. And each environment also consists of an activity that you do at each location. And so, for example, we'll play the game here, but for example, a disability that you might run into is no expressive speech. And we'll start here and we'll go to a clothing store. And so you have 3 modification cards, and the way the game is scored is if you can use your modification cards, for example, a tactile aid, spatial arrangement, or just change the task. If you can use those modifications to safely and effectively accomplish what you need to accomplish in that environment. So we'll play it for you here. Right, and the first one around the board is the winner. I'll be the hippo, and Becca has decided to be Mr. Brain.
Oh, yeah.
So, are you ready, Becca?
Almost.
All right.
All right, so I'm dealing out the modifications. We each get 3. And we'll deal out a disability for each. And let's see what we've got. I've got hemiplegia with full shoulder range of motion and impaired sensation. So that'll just be on my right side, we'll say, my dominant side.
All right. Do you want to go ahead? Or?
Oh, yeah, I can go do my turn. So I'll flip over an activity. I'm going to get to the bathroom at the grocery store. So if I have full range of motion and impaired sensation in my dominant hand, and we're going to assume I want to use, I feel like I could do that one-handed unless it was like a really heavy door. But to make that easier, I think having really good spatial arrangement could help someone with hemiplegia, because you want to make sure they don't run into anything or like hit their impaired arm, the right arm, on anything, because then I could hurt myself and not even know it. So I am going to use spatial arrangement to make it easier for someone with hemiplegia by just making more space around the bathroom. Yeah.
All right. Move forward 1. Awesome. So my disability is no expressive speech. And I'm going to use the modification of high-tech device. Let's see here. Like an AAC device. Maybe a text-to-speech, or I forget what they're called, but something we used in the lab last week to just like
one of
record
the
a message, or
was it a GoPro or GoText?
Yes.
A GoTalk.
GoTalk.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm going to use one
Okay.
of those to accomplish that task.
Okay. Just to make sure people know where you're going. Yeah. It's always hard to find them there, so that makes sense. All right. So we'll each get a new modification. Except I got an old one, so I'll take yours. So now I'm at a school, and we're going to change our activity to using the space for its intended purpose. So at school, that would be to like learn your lesson plan, and be able to sit in class and look up and pay attention. But I would also have to be able to write, and that I think is one of the barriers that someone like me, if I have a right side hemiplegia, I don't know if I'd be able to write with my left hand all day. So things I can change is a visual support, change the task, or a high-tech device. And I would say changing the task might be easier, for me if I were able to give oral presentations instead of having to write things out. That that would make things easier. Or even if I could just not use complete sentences when I'm writing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's for hemiplegia.
That's for hemiplegia.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one, I've got the disability of sequencing problems. So I'm at a school and I'm using it for its intended purpose. I'm going to use, let's see here. I guess I could use a physical low-tech device to just make sure like I write everything down, or I use like a calendar or like a time organizer just to make sure I am sequencing instructions properly.
Mm-hmm.
Becca, do you think that's good, or do you want to try to steal that?
No, I think that it would just be important to have like the order, because at the restaurant you want to make sure they remember to order what questions they would need to ask. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So a new activity and disability for each of us, and which take a new helpful modification as well. So for restaurant, it's getting in the building or space, which that's often a problem.
Yeah.
So I have someone with paraplegia, and they have full use of their arms, so they would just need to be in a manual wheelchair because they can still self-propel it. So I would say, you know, even with that, in a lot of restaurants, it's pretty crowded and difficult for them to get in. And thankfully, I have spatial arrangement, and I would say that the entryways to restaurants need to be bigger. Although I will say, I think I'm going to give you an opportunity to steal. That's not sufficient to help someone enter the building because they need space to, but the doors would also be very difficult for them still because you have to swing them open and propel your wheelchair.
Yeah.
So
I would probably use.
Well, you only get of my choices. So
I
if
see,
you
yes,
think you can use
So
a
I
visual or
use
high-tech
device for sure. So you have let's see, paraplegia, and you're trying to enter the restaurant.
Yeah.
So you could definitely use like a door button.
Yeah.
To electronically automatically open the door for yourself.
That would probably accomplish it better because then you can get through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now you have to do the gym. For what disability do you have? You're also entering the building.
So I'm deaf.
Okay.
So I'm trying to enter the gym, and I'm going to use the modification of. Let's see here. I'm going to use auditory adaptation. So let's see. How would I do this? Deaf. Let's see here. Becca, do you want to try to steal using any of my modifications?
I think I got this. I would say that someone who's deaf is able to enter the building, but maybe, because they're very physically able, but they might run into problems if they almost forget to swipe their card at the gyms because, they're so exclusive. So I would say you might just need a low-tech device even to just say, like, just a card or bracelet to be like, hey, I'm deaf, to let people know, as long as that consumer is comfortable with that.
There's someone there that usually helps them get in anyway. So
exactly. Yeah. So that way, if they're walking past, they don't get tackled by security. Yeah. They just know, hey, you're deaf. And so I think with that, I took the cake.
Nice.
I helped people access this.
Well done.
Well played, sir.
Me too.
All right. Good game.